Hello, everybody, and welcome back to In a World Podcast. This is the second episode. My name is Burke.
And I'm Ripley.
And today we're going to pick up on a few topics. But first of all, Ripley, I got to ask you, new trailers came out, especially from, Comic-Con that just passed?
San Diego Comic-Con, where we got a whole plethora of new trailers, including, we've been talking about it recently. I know your favorite trailer was Venom.
Oh, my God, that Academy Award-winning graphic.
Featuring Tom Hardy, everybody's favorite mushmouth actor.
Yes.
Tom Hardy.
I absolutely hate the look of that entire movie based on that trailer.
It looks too waxy or rubbery or what is it? What is it about the look that's off-putting?
I gave it some thought because Venom is like a symbiote, right? It's like some kind of alien. Well, I don't know the origin of it, but
yeah, it's some
kind of alien ooze symbiote thing.
Correct.
That takes over the host.
Correct.
So I guess it gives it more of that like alien lab type of characteristic to keep it all wet and slimy looking. Yeah,
it's fluid. Yeah.
Yeah, and that makes sense because it's able to change shape into crazy battle axe weapons.
Yeah, he's kind of like, he's kind of like T-1000.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. This should be T-1000's movie.
But then T-1000 would form into a guy. Well, I guess that's because they had an actual human actor.
Yeah, they had to fit that in.
Yeah, right. He wasn't always in effect.
Yeah, okay. This looks like they took over the host, which is Hardy, which, I mean, let's just put this out there. Hardy looks like a pansy ass in this movie.
He does. He looks like a wacky surfer Greenpeace guy. He's wearing about, 15 bracelets on one arm?
Okay. I think we were talking about how each trailer there's more and more bracelets.
It seems like they just, all the money that they should have put into the effects, it went to the bracelet budget.
Right? Yeah. I don't get it. It doesn't feel like I want to watch this movie. There's nothing about it that tells me, oh man, this is awesome. Hardy just looks like he's taken the role, but he's acting as if he's a beginner actor, like it's his first major role. And I have a big problem with that. And then you look into this whole CGI version of Venom, which is comical.
Yeah, I agree. It doesn't look good. Now I'm a guy, just a little background, I'm a big comic book guy.
Mm-hmm.
I love me some Venom. All that being said, I love Tom Hardy too.
Right.
Probably my favorite, like in his prime actor that's out there right now. Right.
The ingredients are there for a great movie.
It looks terrible. I also have no desire to see it based upon the trailers, and it's funny because usually the first trailer you get is the worst, and this has almost gone in reverse. The first trailer, they didn't give us anything. If you remember, it looked like he was getting a MRI done.
Yeah, he was just violently shaking.
The second trailer, you got a glimpse of Venom at the end, and you're like, okay, that was kind of cool. It didn't look great, but we got a few months.
Yeah.
And now this trailer, which is, I think it comes out in early October. So it's pretty much, they've pretty much got it finished.
It's a polished turd.
And it looks real bad. It looks real bad. And I don't know if this is a function of it being a Sony movie. Because I don't know if you have any background on this, but do you know how the movie rights are breaking out?
Not really, no.
Okay, so back in the day, Marvel sold Spider-Man movie rights to Sony.
Yeah,
okay, they sold X-Men and Fantastic Four off to Fox. Right? So now you know what happened there.
Yeah.
Now Disney's getting X-Men and Fox back, or X-Men and Fantastic Four back.
Mm-hmm.
Sony's still out there making these movies. Sony's idea, because they don't have Spider-Man, they loaned Spider-Man back out to Marvel. Sony is not only going to go with a Venom movie without Spider-Man, they're going to go with a whole universe, a shared universe of Spider-Man characters that never include Spider-Man.
So we can see Carnage.
You can see Carnage. They're doing a Morbius the Living Vampire movie.
Huh?
Morbius was a character in the comics. He was a doctor, lab scientist, gone wrong. He somehow turns himself into a vampire, right?
Yeah.
As you do.
As you do in comics, yes.
It's going to star Jared Leto.
No.
Yeah. How many more strikes do you need against this movie, right?
It's almost like maybe I'll do better in this one.
What could we do? Yeah, boy, that Venom sucked. What can we do to make it worse? Yeah. I know, Jared Leto. So yeah, it's lunacy. It's not going to connect. Supposedly, it's not going to connect to the broader Marvel Cinematic Universe, which that's where you have your Iron Mans, your Captain America, Thor, Hulk, and so forth. So I don't know. I don't know what the point of this is. I don't know why Venom's main goal was to take out Spider-Man.
Yeah.
What are you going to do if there's no Spider-Man? I don't know. It's like it's almost as crazy as having a Joker movie without Batman in it,
right? Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, what is the point? What's driving this movie in its story? Just that. Is it like an origin story?
It appears to be some sort of origin story, right? Who's going to be the bad guy? I guess it's the evil corporation guy.
Right. That's over and done with. And yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. There's not really any interest coming from a guy that likes that character, likes that actor. Don't want to see that movie.
And how the hell is it going to end? I mean, you have a host that's unwilling to cooperate.
Well, right. Right, yeah.
And I guess the corporation would want to retain its property, right?
They're going to come after him. Looks like a bunch of big black SUVs that he's going to knock over with his axe hands or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it all kind of looks like it's one of these ones that could have been a real wacky departure from everything you see, but instead it's like a paint by numbers. And right?
You're like, put all the ingredients in that everybody's used to, but just kind of see what happens in the end.
I don't know. Well, there's that. You want to move on to something else?
Yeah, please, because that's ridiculous. We spend way too much time.
Wait, that was too much. There was a set photo from the new Terminator movie.
Yeah, you showed me that.
Sarah Connor looking really sweet. In case you guys don't know, Linda Hamilton is back as Sarah Connor. They're doing the classic move where it's a direct sequel to Terminator 3 or Terminator 2, excuse me. So they're just going to forget about 3. They're going to forget about the one where John Connor was the bad guy, and they're also going to forget about that one that I've forgotten about. Christian Bale was the guy.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. As we should. Yes.
As we should. So that looked pretty interesting.
The chick from *Halt and Catch Fire*, who was also in
Blade Runner. The Blade Runner. Yes, she was looking awfully fit.
Yeah, and
she's looking very fit.
Those lines on her arms,
some sort of cybernetic situation
going on with that. And then, of course, I think we joked on the third character being the mechanic.
Yes.
The one that just got caught up in everything, but I'm going to look badass in the poster anyway.
You know what? You are so right. That is the audience character.
Yes.
Right? That's going to be the character that they sweep up into the adventure.
Yeah.
And then they're going to have to turn and explain to that character what's happening.
Right.
And
they're going to point out,
and
she's going to be the one that points out all the inaccuracies of why we're doing it this way. We can do it this way.
Yes, exactly. She's going to say something. Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
figured it out. No need to see it.
Significantly less excited. We also had a preview for Glass. This is part of the M. Night Shyamalan-verse.
Yeah.
Right?
I really, really enjoyed that trailer.
It was a great trailer.
There's a lot that was told about it, like they revealed, and a lot that has more to come.
And you see, I think that's a good example of a trailer that doesn't show you everything, but gives you enough to go off of. At least I hope it doesn't show you everything.
I don't think it does.
I mean, I don't see how they could if you go by that director's MO. he's got something left. You know, he's got one in the chamber.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's going to turn into some kind of The Village type of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
See what else we had. We had the preview for Shazam.
Yeah, man, I thought that was a joke. I thought that was a college humor video that came out. Hey, this movie Shazam.
Well, I gotta tell you, I think this might have been my favorite one. Because of that. I liked the tone. I liked sort of the wacky, jokey tone.
Uh-huh.
It had teenagers in it, and I wasn't immediately disgusted.
Right.
So that was good. Typically, anything that's leading with teenagers, I'm probably not going to be into. But this seemed okay.
Yeah. And it had a big.
It was definitely like Tom Hanks,
yes,
big,
but superhero,
which I think could be kind of cool. I also think it could get annoying. So that was sort of that was sort of the one though that I was sort of the most intrigued about of the big ones we're going to talk about here.
Yeah.
On the flip side of the DC universe, there was Aquaman.
Yeah.
Which is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want it to be good.
I want it to be good as well.
I like the main dude.
Jason Momoa as Aquaman.
Yeah, I like him. I followed him since the little bit of geekdom here, but Stargate Atlantis TV show.
Okay.
I really enjoyed him in that.
Stargate Atlantis. So he already has some experience with Atlantis.
Exactly.
All right.
I didn't make that connection. Oh,
okay.
Man, that's right.
Okay.
Yes, that's actually 100% accurate.
Awesome.
But yeah, I want it to be good.
You know, it's just, we were talking a little earlier today, the CGI of the underwater stuff looks an awful lot like Star Wars Episode 1, the sucky ones.
Right, the Jar Jar.
The Jar Jar one.
Episode Jar Jar.
Might as well been called that. Disappointing because, again, I think that's an aesthetic that has been established.
Yeah.
You could go with some other...
Yeah, it's a difficult thing to do underwater unless you're actually on the water.
That's a good point.
Right? Because it's all CG.
Correct.
Right? And yeah, the physics of that, of water looking like water in a CGI is just...
Also, this might have been maybe they should have had him cut his hair so you don't have to have the hair moving around.
Right. But you know what? Hold on. Because when I saw the trailer, I didn't see much hair movement.
Do you think his hair is static underwater?
I distinctly remember it. I could be wrong. Okay.
Is he wearing a hat? Is he wears a hat underwater?
No, it was like the other people that were underwater and him didn't have that flowy underwater hair look.
You know what? I'd have to rewatch it, but maybe that's why I'm thinking of it, because there wasn't any hair.
Yeah, some of the things that you would expect, I don't think were there. And it just had like a filter. It was like a weird, trying to be glossy but not glossy filter.
Right. And it's like, is that really how it looks underwater? Not really.
I don't know, man.
Okay. Well, that was Aquaman. Let's see. There was, of course, Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Yeah. I know that you're a huge fan of the kaiju.
Big kaiju guy right here.
And having seen that trailer, what is your honest opinion of it?
Well, it's the trailer. The movie could be different. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, the tone of the trailer does match the tone of the movie. And to me, this, along with the Godzilla from, 2014, 2015?
Oh, Cranston?
The Breaking Bad Godzilla. The tone is not correct. It's not fun. It's not like wacky scientists trying to take over the world or aliens or something like that.
It's more of a serious
movie. And it's a hard thing to get to be serious because it's so absurd.
Yeah.
And I think we've talked about the Pacific Rim
That's
movies.
what I was just about to say, yeah.
I think have a pretty good balance of some seriousness, but also, ultimately
wackiness
it's a robot.
Charlie Day and
Charlie Day. They bring a lot of levity to it.
Yeah.
Also, this trailer introduced us to a couple things. We had Mothra. We had a King Ghidorah, which is the three-headed dragon thing. And who else was there? Rodan, who's the big old pterodactyl guy. So we have more monsters. Mothra was in there, yeah. Larva phase Mothra. I think we saw a shadow of
the moth
version Mothra.
And I gotta say, with those, when they revealed those other monsters, they look so much more gigantic than Godzilla looks. When they revealed Godzilla and his blue flaming thing up in the sky,
flame into the light, flame into the sky,
coffee mug.
Right? He did. He was.
He looked so small compared to the other reveal. The reveal of the other monsters.
And I feel like we got a pretty good amount. I'd have to look at it again, but it looked like there was hardly any Mothra. You had Mothra snuggling Millie Bobby Brown for a second. And you had just a shadow of King Ghidorah. And then you had a lot of Rodan flying around destroying stuff.
Yeah.
And he looked huge. So,
he did. He looked gigantic.
Yeah.
And each one seems to have its home in different parts of the world.
That's right. Yeah.
Right? Because one of the things I saw was the return of Zhang Ziyi, which I haven't seen her in since Rush Hour days.
You know who else was in there? Sally Hawkins, who was from The Shape of Water.
Oh.
So you know what that means.
Ooh.
Those monsters better...
Yeah.
She's going to try to have sex with all those monsters.
Oh, Godzilla. He truly is the king of all monsters.
But of course, the biggest reveal was the presence of one Charles Dance, or my dear brother Numsy.
Yes.
the guy from The Golden Child.
Oh man,
fantastic.
Yeah.
Anyway, Godzilla. I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's weird because this is a shared universe with Kong Skull Island that came out maybe last year, which I thought was fun. It's weird that they're going the same thing, and the Kong movie was a lot more fun. This one seems a lot more. We've seen enough
destruction.
We've seen enough end of the civilization type of things. How about just a fun monster? We don't key in on how much devastation.
Right.
So, that's just my ideas. I don't make movies then. Let's see. We also had a trailer for Bumblebee.
This was the movie that replaced what would have been the sixth Transformer movie?
6 or 7, yeah.
Yeah. That they announced that they weren't going to do anymore, and then Bumblebee out of nowhere.
Right. Wasn't it something where Michael Bay was like, I'm done, I'm not doing any more?
Probably. Let's see. Which is surprising considering he loves explosions, and that's set up to explode everything. But I don't know, man. We don't need it.
We definitely don't need it. It looks like there were, I think you're right, I think there was 5.
Yeah.
Maybe 6. I don't know. All I know is I saw the first Transformers movie, and I didn't really see any need to carry on.
Yeah.
So.
I think the only way to revitalize that Transformer thing now is to just go ahead and merge it with Fast and Furious and just have that whole shared universe.
It seems like that would. I think that would be a really good blend.
I mean,
right?
they're getting so ridiculous in Fast and Furious. Why not have a car that transforms?
Why not? Yeah, why not have Vin Diesel's Dodge Charger turn into a big robot?
Exactly.
And just start wreaking havoc.
I'd watch that.
I'd watch that too. I'd be back in. I'd be back in for Fast and Furious Transformers.
Yes.
Okay, well, since we just talked about the Bumblebee trailer, I thought we'd go ahead and get into the main topic.
Sure.
For this time, which is going to be what toy lines that were made into a feature film did we not like, and which ones would we like to see turned into major films?
Okay.
So I just had to put together a quick little list. As we just talked about, there's the what I'm calling the Hasbro verse.
Oh man, that's got to be ridiculous.
We're talking Transformers.
Yeah.
We're talking G.I. Joe.
Old Tatum
Old Channing Tatum, old squarehead himself. Actually, I really like that guy.
Yeah,
like, I think he'd okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there is Battleship. Do you remember that?
Rihanna's
big film debut, we'll call it.
Exactly.
And I'm not even going to bother to check. It was her film debut.
It was. Let's put it out there. And then the badass who had no legs that scaled the mountain. You remember him?
I don't know that I saw all of Battleship.
Oh, man. It was this one guy who was actual part of the military. He had, I believe he had both legs and one arm amputated. Okay. And he was like the one who was rah-rah about, we gotta go do this, we gotta go do that, come with me, let's scale up the mountain.
Was this the one that Liam Neeson was advertised to be in, but he was barely in it?
Yes.
Right? It was like Liam Neeson, Battleship. And then he either got killed off or he wasn't, or he went to do something else.
It was something like that, yeah.
Fantastic. So we went over Transformers, we Battleship, G.I. Joe. Any thoughts on the G.I. Joe?
I don't think I saw them. I don't think I saw a full G.I. Joe
movie. Almost certainly didn't see a full G.I. Joe movie, except for maybe all of one. That was again where, it's weird because I remember the toys for G.I. Joe, Transformers, everything being real distinctive.
Yeah.
Like you knew this guy.
Oh, yeah, you knew my name, the colors.
They had a certain look, they had a certain vehicle. And same thing with the Transformers, right? Like there was a truck, there was a plane.
Well, yeah, the toy. The toy, yes.
But I feel like in the film, it's real hard to tell.
It got muddied up.
Yeah, it's real hard to tell who's what and what's going on.
Yeah.
And I think maybe if anything that they do with this Bumblebee, because it is set in the 80s.
So this is like
this is like original recipe Bumblebee. He's going to be a VW.
Yes.
So I think maybe that might have some hope for him because you're going to at least know that it's who it is.
Yeah. And they're tugging on the nostalgic thing all over the place with that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, let's see other toy movies. My favorite, which is of course. Film The Toy, featuring Richard Pryor. No,
yes, right.
I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. That movie is so ridiculous.
You're gonna have to tread lightly on this.
Yeah, I know. Let's just. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't.
So, Jackie Gleason, the guy from The Honeymooners,
which. Thank you for validating because it was one of those things in my mind. It was like, it's got to be.
Did you validate it? Maybe we should just make sure we're on the right track here.
It'd be a dead ringer for him. But correct me if I'm wrong. He
rents. He
rents.
We'll say rents.
Yes.
He rents Richard Pryor services at The Toy. Confirmed.
Yeah. Okay, good.
To take care of his snotty kid, his spoiled, rotten kid. And of course, Richard Pryor imparts lots of knowledge on the kid and everything works out well. But the Jackie Gleason character is a wealthy Louisiana businessman.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And he basically buys Richard Pryor to take care of his child.
Didn't in this movie Richard Pryor work for the toy store? And he was like really good. Right?
He was like a night watchman at the toy store.
Yeah, and then he got fired
because he was screwing around with all the toys after hours. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then okay.
Yeah. But somehow that led into a situation that
was comical.
Yes. Well, at least by early 80s standards.
Yeah.
Okay, seriously, my favorite movie based on a toy was Masters of the Universe. This was Dolph Lundgren as He-Man. Nice. And Frank Langella as Skeletor. Frank Langella, who is an Academy nominated actor. gone on record and saying Skeletor was his favorite role that he ever played.
Wow.
So, and you can tell too, he's really chewing up some scenery in this one.
Really?
He's a very, very bad guy, but it was awesome. I was a big He-Man fan as a kid. I had a lot of the toys.
Mm-hmm.
It did do that one thing in the 80s where when they didn't have enough money. So it was like it was set in the faraway land that He-Man occupied called Eternia, right? Which was either a different dimension or a different planet, or I forget exactly what it is. And that was where there was laser guns and castles and all kinds of awesome stuff happening.
I need to see this.
And one of those deals where because they didn't have the budget, I would imagine, to carry out a whole, 90-minute plus film,
right?
They come to 1980s California, where they encounter some high school kids.
Yeah.
And there's a whole high school kid subplot. Kind of really drags the middle. It's like this whole entire second act kind of really suffers from it. They even got the principal from Back to the Future.
Oh man, was he a principal?
He was,
because I feel like he's always played a principal.
It was a far off departure from that. He was a police officer.
Okay, so still authority. Authority figure.
And he, he's shaking down the teenagers. He was the same guy.
Yeah,
he was the same thing. But He-Man shows up. He helps the teenage kids. They eventually get back to Eternia. They foil Skeletor's plot. But this one is notable for a couple things. One, there's a stinger at the end of the credits. Okay, so the movie finishes up.
Oh, after credits
roll. There's an after credits scene where Skeletor comes out of, because He-Man throws him off of a. This was the era where you had to throw the bad guy off of some tall thing. Okay, they had to fall to their death.
Right.
Okay, well...
Die Hard and all that.
Yeah, exactly. You got it. Die Hard, Jack Nicholson Joker, Skeletor. Who else got thrown off of something
Pretty
tall?
much everybody.
Would you count when Harrison Ford threw Gary Oldman off the Air Force One?
Yes.
I mean, that was pretty tall, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cable guy.
That's right. He did fall off of that big satellite.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we even talking about? So He-Man's dispatched the villain. He's thrown him off the tall thing into a moat or a pit or something.
Brea tar pit, something.
Credits roll, and here comes Skeletor up out of the water, and he gives a big, ominous, "I'll be back."
Oh my God!
Spoiler alert: he was never back. They never made another one. This was the only one that they made. Also, they claim that this movie, this was by. Do you remember Colin Globus? They made a lot of cheesy 80s movies.
Okay.
Golan Globus, I believe. Golan Globus. There's a studio that made low-budget movies. Okay. This apparently kind of wrecked their studio. Or was one of the reasons behind. They were responsible for such films as Delta Force with Chuck Norris.
Yes. Delta Force 2.
Delta Force 2. I would think so. These type of movies. This kind of like wrecked their whole deal.
Really? It was that bad?
Well, I think they went a higher budget than normal. And they had to go out and get Dolph Lundgren.
Was he fresh off of Rocky?
He was fresh off of Rocky.
That's fine.
Yeah, he was fresh off of Rocky. He actually... You might call me crazy here, but I think he's better than what he's perceived to be. I'm not going to say he's good.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that. It seems like he undersells himself in roles and in acting.
Yeah, right? He plays the big old muscly guy.
Yeah.
Which he is.
And he just goes along with it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think there is something about him that is...
Could he have been a Tom Hanks? Is that what he's going to be?
He could have at least been... Stallone.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
You don't think so?
If they never had him in a Rocky movie, and he came up solo like Jean-Claude Van Damme did in some action movies.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, Universal Soldier with Dolph Lundgren.
Oh my God! Yes, that's correct.
That was a cool movie.
That was pretty dope. Do you remember him trying to get rid of that tracker in his calf?
Oh, dude.
Or his leg?
It was a great movie. See, there you go. Dolph Lundgren was good in that one, too, wasn't he?
Well, yeah, I mean, he didn't have much of an emotional range in that.
I mean, he played a zombie.
He basically played
Zombie
Ivan.
warrior. Okay. Masters of the Universe, my favorite one.
Okay.
I loved it. It was one of those ones where go to the video store as a kid.
Yeah.
And rent it. And parents were like, haven't you seen this one enough? And
It's like,
"No."
yes, I have. I still want to see it.
I want to see more. There was a bit where He-Man's flying around on like a flying contraption. That looks pretty bad. Otherwise, like the creature, because there's some creatures and things.
Mm-hmm.
I think all the makeup and stuff looks cool. The sword fights are pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty great. Not a good movie, but I think the nostalgia and for what it is, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Sweet.
So are there any... Oh, wait. Lego movie. Probably the most successful, most well-regarded.
Yeah. I didn't have any high hopes for that when it came out. Didn't see it when it came out, but I saw it later on after it had already packed the hype. It was
Lego
good.
movie's fun.
It was good.
Lego movie's fun.
There's no denying that.
I've seen some of the Lego Batman. Also pretty fun.
Yeah, pretty good.
Lego movie's good.
Yeah.
I like the Lego movies.
Well, if you have any more on your list.
I've got the movie Clue.
I was going to talk about that.
You're going to talk about Clue? Go ahead.
That's fine. Yeah, that. It's weird to say that came from a game, but yeah, it did, or a toy.
I thought for a movie, that's probably the best put together movie from a toy, right?
And I think the casting was perfect.
It was a very good cast. Yeah.
Okay. I can't think of the guy, but you know the guy I'm talking about. Rocky Horror Picture Show guy.
The Rocky Horror, original recipe Pennywise.
Yes. That guy's name.
Tim Curry.
There it is.
Tim Curry. There we go.
I think he is amazing in that, and he's just. It seems like he's just playing himself.
Well, and you know what's excellent about that one is we just named off Rocky Horror Picture Show, the It from the 80s.
Winston goes the ape. The
Dunstan checks
in. That's it. Dunstan checks in.
Holy jumping. He was in Dunstan checks
Home Alone. He was the hotel dude in Home Alone as well.
Was that 2?
2, yes, with the Talk Boy.
Yes. The Talk Boy.
Yes.
I think he was a really talented...
He was dope.
Yeah, he was great in that movie. Who else did that movie have? That had Christopher Lloyd was the professor.
Yep.
And
oh man,
I believe he had Madeline Kahn as the lady with she had darker hair. She was kind of pale.
Mrs. Plum or something.
Mrs. Plum. Professor Plum. She was Mrs. White.
Could be
maybe.
Madeline Kahn.
Great.
Mrs. White. Yep. Christopher Lloyd was Professor Plum.
Christopher Lloyd, yes.
Michael McKean is Mr. Green.
Michael McKean, absolutely. Of Spinal Tap.
Martin Mull, Colonel Mustard.
Awesome.
And
great movie.
Yeah. There's no denying that. It's a fun, awesome movie to watch.
You got any other ones?
Well, as far as my favorite, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think what you explained, Masters of the Universe, was my Teenage Mutant
Ninja Turtles, the first one, was pretty great.
Yeah, that whole thing when they went to feudal Japan.
That one, Turtles in Time.
That was horrific.
What about Secret of the Ooze? I don't really remember that except for the Vanilla Ice part.
The what?
How Vanilla Ice did the music for...
I enjoyed that because it was fun. We got to see the two monsters.
Bebop and Rocksteady?
Yes.
Awesome. The bad guy monsters?
Yeah, wait a minute. It was a wolf and a turtle. So it wasn't Bebop.
It was. You're right.
Raza and...
It wasn't Bebop and Rocksteady, was it? It was a wolf guy and an evil turtle.
Yeah. Right. Evil turtle. Yeah. Snapping turtle. That one I remember the most because Vanilla Ice, and then of course popular
Vanilla Ice, absolutely.
And,
only part I remember.
Yeah, and they had the cool underground subway hideout.
They did have a turtle lair, right?
Yeah, it didn't seem like that was fleshed out in the first one. Like they were still living with April.
That's right.
And at the end, they went and found the thing, and then had a really cool place down in the second movie.
And of course, in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze, Super Shredder is played by Kevin Nash, better known as Diesel, from the WWF. So pretty awesome.
Pretty badass.
Yeah, pretty great. Awesome. Any other ones? I've got written down here, Gem. This was what I did a little bit of research. There was a Gem in the Holograms. Apparently, there was a live action movie a couple years ago.
Yeah, that tanked. I was reading up on that today for research on this. Budgeted $5 million, box office 2.3.
2.3? Yeah. I wonder how many screens it was on.
I don't know, but I mean,
that's terrible.
Yeah, it had its time back then. And if a movie came out around that time, it would have been great. But you're talking now, 30-some-odd years.
Do you think it missed? So do you feel like the target audience was like, they missed it?
Yeah,
right?
Definitely.
Yeah, okay. Like if it would have come out around that same time as Transformers, do you think that was more of the time frame that they needed to do it in?
I don't think
the
so.
Original Transformers?
What?
Would that have been like mid 2000s?
No, I think 90s would have been perfect time for that.
Maybe
because I nobody really wanted it, and it came out of nowhere.
I remember that cartoon and the toys and everything, but I was confused as to why there was a movie about that.
Yeah.
All right, so if we had to rank them, you're saying Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1?
Yes, that is my top.
Okay, I'm going to go Masters of the Universe, Lego movie, all the Lego franchise, honorable, pretty high up there. The Clue movie was great.
Yeah.
I hated Transformers.
Yeah, I mean, it was good, the first one.
So, ultimately, not too many great movies based off of toys.
Yeah, I was even looking at, Smurfs. That's horrible.
Yeah. I guess we didn't really touch too much on animated movies.
Yeah.
Because there were, Care Bear movies.
Care Bear movies, a Toy Soldier. Had its own thing.
Oh, do you remember the one where it was the tiny soldiers? Small soldiers?
Is that what I was thinking? Yes, that's it. That's what I was talking about.
That one was pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, that one was pretty good.
I mean, not a toy that was existent, but the Indian in the Cupboard was about a toy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I like that movie. 90s Burke loved that movie.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. I think that was sort of in that Rookie of the Year, Sandlot, Indian in the Cupboard. It was in sort of that realm of Richie Rich type of 90s kid movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Are there any toy lines you'd like to see made into a feature movie?
I think there, and I'm not sure if they did this, but I think Crash Test Dummies would be great.
It seems like they did a Crash Test Dummies, right?
I mean, I remember a show, and I remember cartoons.
There was definitely a cartoon.
But I'm not sure they did a movie with that.
Do you think they wouldn't be as funny because it's about car wrecks and stuff?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Then they'd make a gritty reboot of Crash Test Dummies.
Yeah.
And they'd miss the tone again.
Trying to think of what else.
When I was a kid, there was a toy called Mask. M-A-S-K, okay? And not the film with Eric Stoltz and Cher.
Okay.
But...
And not Jim Carrey.
Not Jim Carrey and
that chick.
Smoking Hot Cameron Diaz.
Pinnacle.
Absolute
and then
peak
a rapid
Cameron
fall.
Diaz. A very quick decline afterwards. But it was like the MASK stood for something. It was like mobile armored.
Oh,
something.
snap! Yes.
Okay, and these guys had this cool helmet that they would wear.
Okay.
And their vehicle wouldn't transform into a robot, but it would look like a normal car.
Yeah.
And then all these like crazy guns and stuff would just like.
Oh, I kind of remember this. Right? Yeah.
I thought that was great. The toys were awesome. They had a cartoon. I think it's part of. I think it was a Hasbro. I think that would fit right into your.
Yeah, why not?
To your Transformers, G.I. Joe, and why don't we put Fast and Furious in there too?
Sure.
Universe, right? Monopoly.
Yeah, man.
You think you could do
why
Monopoly?
not?
Why not?
Yeah. Put a serious tone in it.
Make it about like the real estate crisis, 2007.
Oh yes, yes. Let's do that.
Monopoly.
What happens when it's a monopoly? Oh, that'd be great.
You go to jail. Go directly to jail.
One thing I also, even though I'm confused on whether the show or the toys came out first, with Power Rangers.
Well, they just recently did the Power Rangers. They redid.
That's right.
It's
that's
probably
right.
only
That's
been
right.
15
that's
or
right.
16.
What am I talking about? Yeah,
I didn't see
that,
it.
and then they had it in the 90s.
Well, I didn't see it. The more recent one, and it was one of those that's on streaming services, and I just breezed right past it, just like me.
Exactly.
So.
You know what does it for me? The reason why I don't want to see that is because the one who plays, I guess Rita or whoever the bad.
Oh yeah.
I don't like her as an actress. So I'm like, I don't really want to see this because of that.
Would you say that she repulses you?
There you go.
Okay.
I served it up for you.
Okay. Well, so yeah, toy line movies. Look, anytime you take a known property, and turn it into a movie, I guess it's just like any other movie. It could be good, or it could be bad.
Yeah.
Seems like it's more bad.
With the exception of some of the things that we talked about.
Should we get more of these? Should we get
more?
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Because that's leading into a whole different subject about originality now in movies is like almost.
Yeah, it feels like
gone.
This is very much the wave of nostalgia. Where things like Stranger Things are really popular.
Yeah.
Things that harken back to a childhood memory or something like that. It looks like, probably just part of that. Masters of the Universe, by the way, is supposed to get a reboot, or maybe not a reboot, but another version.
Would it be a sequel?
I hope so. He's finally back.
He's finally back.
I told you, bitches.
It just took some time.
Here's the thing. Who do you get to be He-Man? And why is it Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah, right?
I mean, who else are you going to get at this point?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So some honorable mentions that...
Sure.
a bit out there.
You wind it down here, yeah.
Which I just learned... Ouija board. Ouija had a movie.
Ouija had a movie?
I didn't see that, but...
Seems like it would have just been The Craft.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. What was her name?
He has something.
I'll effort it. Go
yeah,
ahead.
you go ahead. So that came out. God, I think it was like less than 3 years ago, but I didn't see it. It's some kind of serious horror movie. One of the most internationally renowned toys, a hula hoop,
made an appearance
in the Hudsucker Proxy.
Hudsucker Proxy. That's a great film.
Yeah, I think for me, that belongs in the list somewhere for me. Because that's another movie that I've seen so many different times.
That's a pretty great film.
And it's got some great actors in there.
Great actors. Coen Brothers. It's got that Coen Brothers where everything looks like it's that time frame that they could do so well.
Right.
That like early 1900s America that they just are like They're just on point
Yeah,
for that.
yeah. The whole feel and atmosphere of that.
Okay, her name, the one gal we're thinking of from The Craft is Fairuza Balk.
Crazy chick, right?
Well,
American History X.
American History X. What was her name in Waterboy?
Vicky Valancourt.
Vicky Valancourt. Yes. Okay. All right, we did it. Fairuza Balk.
Thank you for the research.
Fairuza Balk, ladies and gentlemen.
And then lastly, the one I told you about yesterday, Radio Flyer.
Yeah, Radio Flyer.
I mean,
what a fun movie
the more
that was.
I started looking into that, man. Okay, yes, the Radio Flyer wagon.
Right.
The movie is named Radio Flyer.
Correct.
Radio Flyer, the actual wagon, it makes an appearance. It is kind of a
cameo.
It's an important part of that.
Does he escape his abusive father in the wagon?
Yes, that's the. No. It's part of the thing that they built for. I want to say Bobby. To leave the family.
Is Bobby Elijah Wood? Is that right?
No, Elijah Wood
is the friend.
Oh wait, maybe, because I have a memory of that little kid screaming out to his brother and saying Bobby, which a little kid was Tim in Jurassic Park. Going back to episode 1.
Absolutely, the kid was Tim from Jurassic Park.
Yes.
Good work.
Right? I don't understand how they got the permission to use Radio Flyer about a movie about an abusive father, an abusive husband.
Dude, you're
an alcoholic.
You're on point here. Elijah Wood is Mike.
Yes.
And we'll call him Jurassic Park guy.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park Tim plays Bobby. You got it.
Yeah. And the chick from Goodfellas.
Sopranos, yep.
Yeah, Sopranos.
She is the mom. And the abusive guy is... Do you remember Full Metal Jacket?
Yes.
The dude with the big gun. The guy with the big old gun.
Was that Full Metal Jacket? Or yes, it was. It was, yeah.
Yep.
Now, okay, completely side note and off topic. The actress that plays the mother in that movie.
Lorraine Bracco, I just saw.
Yes, right. Okay, I just mentioned Goodfellas.
Correct.
Ray Liotta.
Fantastic.
I have a theory that there are so many films with Ray Liotta and his wife or girlfriend, his name's Karen. Okay. I swear that every time I see Ray Liotta in a film, there's a love interest or a woman around him named Karen.
Now, do you feel like this is a function of his real spouse being named Karen, and he can't remember anybody's name, and so he just yells, Karen?
That would be great. That would be great.
You got any Ray Liotta impersonations?
No. Karen!
Just being a crazy guy.
Yeah, exactly. But, that's something...
Maniacal laugh.
That's something I want to explore maybe later in a different episode. And I want to see how many movies he's been in where his love interest was named Karen. Because I know of at least 4. And that's 3 too many.
Oh, man.
Oh, but anyway.
All right. Well, I think it's about time for our matchup.
Yes. That's right.
So we're thinking this week's matchup, because Burke enjoyed that Venom trailer so much.
Yes.
We're gonna go with a Tom Hardy as Venom.
Yeah.
Against Tom Hardy as Bane.
Yeah.
Now,
so
this is a logical matchup because both these guys are kind of loose units.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Quick to fly off the handle. Obviously, it's hard to understand what either one of them is saying.
Perfect.
So you could.
So there's a real situation where they be pissed off at each other because they don't understand.
They must certainly be upset with each other, even if it was just because what are you talking about? I can't understand you. So what do you got? Venom versus Bane. Venom's got the super symbiote thing from a different planet.
Mm-hmm.
Bane got a
super strength.
Does he have? Yeah, I guess he has super strength. He's pretty smart. He gets over on Batman, which in that Nolan Batman, not hard to do. Everybody seems to get the better of him. But anyway,
but he was a young Batman too.
It was a young. He was kind of finding his way.
Yeah,
he was kind of finding his way.
Was he not trained? He was trained.
He was a League of Shadows.
Yes, that's right.
Right. Theatrics. Would he just look at Venom and immediately say, theatrics. Powerful allies. And then he gets stabbed. He gets cut in half by a big web axe.
Right. So that's what I was thinking too. It's like, you have a shape-shifting symbiote.
Yeah.
But I feel that...
What if Bane is aware of him?
That's
sort of the Batman theory, and like if he's aware of what he can do and has some time to put something together,
figure something out.
He's probably going to figure it out.
He's got stuff up his sleeve.
He does. He's pretty tricky. He's pretty resilient. Real smart.
Yeah, I wouldn't see him engaging in a physical combat with.
He seems like the type of guy that would be smart enough to just assess what's happening and say, "All right, I'm going to lose if I just try to punch this guy." Right.
So, what is Venom's
is
weakness?
Venom smart?
No.
You don't know Venom's weakness?
I don't.
If you thought you hated Venom before,
oh god,
if you ring a bell,
bracelets.
Bracelets. Bane just leaves a bunch of bracelets sitting around, and he falls off a cliff. He just follows the trail.
Yeah.
He follows the trail into a little box, like he would catch a rabbit in, and he pulls the.
You know what happens?
Out.
He gets distracted by the bracelets.
Yes.
Running away, turns the corner of a brownstone, and the piano
falls on him. That's right. That's the official way to kill off a character of the podcast. We're gonna have a piano fall on them.
Yes.
Piano out of a brownstone.
Yeah.
Right onto somebody, crushes him to death.
Okay. Comical.
So.
Yeah, but no, what is his
It's
weakness?
Venom. I mean, so Venom's weakness is you might remember this from the very forgettable Spider-Man 3, where they had Venom and it was the kid from that '70s show.
Yep.
If you ring a bell, the sound waves, the vibration from the bell freaks the symbiote out, and it distracts it at enough time that you can kind of pull it off of whoever the host is.
And it needs a host.
Has to have a host, right?
Okay.
Bane would almost certainly, with any sort of time, would even figure this out.
Oh, yeah.
He'd have a whole chorus of bell
It'd
players.
be in a church, and the bells are ringing, and he's...
kind of like Bane in this.
Yeah, I think Bane's going to do it out of preparation, intelligence.
Preparation, yeah. Okay, in a prepared type of fight, it's Bane. But if it's just they show up in an alley,
yeah, right.
Venom's probably just gonna stab him with one of his stabby arms.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Okay. And is it? Well, yeah. Because Bane, Hardy's Bane didn't have the toxin to. Bulk him up, right?
They describe him as he could somehow something was amiss with him, and so it was like you couldn't really hurt him. He didn't have any neurosensors or something.
Yeah, something like that.
There was some sort of
Something like that.
Tell you what you could do. You could shoot him with a gun attached to your motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Catwoman does that too?
Oh yeah, got it.
Mm-hmm. All right. What do you think? That's it?
Yeah, I think Bane wins it out.
I like Bane too.
Or
you know what's really funny is it's hard to understand what Venom's saying, right?
Yeah.
And they've already had a movie where it was hard. Well, I mean, every movie is kind of hard to understand. They keep doing this.
Yeah.
They keep modulating Tom Hardy's voice, which is already kind of hard to understand. What are they doing?
Yeah, dude.
You couldn't understand anything. I mean, I guess he only had 3 lines in Fury Road.
Oh my god, yeah.
But
in Dunkirk, he didn't know
what
anything
the hell
he
was he saying? Nobody knows.
Yeah. I don't think he had lines. He just improvised the whole thing. But here's something I just thought of. So Bane rings bells.
Bane's got
and Venom is, detached from the host.
Yep.
Do you think Venom attaches to Bane as the host?
I'm so
in a comical.
I'm having such a hard.
Fall,
I'm having a hard time processing that.
Because I would imagine.
Because that would be so awesome.
Because I would imagine
if you had Bane with the Venom suit on.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Because this is what I'm thinking of, right? And I don't know much of Venom to say, but I would imagine if the bell, the sound waves cause him to detach from the hosts.
And he's going to
try to find something to attach to.
The leader or
or something.
Oh, man.
And what better, to attach to Bane? Now you have an unstoppable genius.
If you have Bane with Venom powers, Spider-Man and Batman are both toast.
They're dead.
You might as well just, wow.
They're dead. Well, you heard it here first. A Bane Venom amalgamation.
Would he be Vane? Yeah!
There it is. There it is. I don't think we're going to get any better than that, right?
Okay, yeah, cut it off, turn it off.
All right. Well, with that, guys, thank you so much.
Thank you guys for listening. If you guys have an idea for a matchup you'd like to send in, we are In a World Pod on Twitter and theinaworldpodcast at gmail.com. If you guys want to send in some matchup ideas, it could be how you would see it would go. It could just be an idea you want to hear our thoughts on, whatever you'd like.
And if there are any movies from toys that we missed that
let us know.
You feel should be in the list, let us know. We'll definitely talk about it on our third episode whenever we decide to do that.
Absolutely.
But again, thank you all for listening, and until next time, peace.